I could either fix this and sell it, fix it and use it as my daily car, get rid of it and get a new daily. But the general consensus was that you don't want to see this Honda as my daily car. But I'll be honest with you, I kind of already made up my mind. What's going on, guys? Now, some of you will probably remember that I recently made a video asking for your opinions on what I should do with my Honda Civic. This car's got a blown head gasket, but what I want to know is, should I fix it and use it as my daily car, or should I just get rid of it and get a new daily? Now, the reason I want to decide what to do for a daily is so that we can do some more interesting modifications on my Mark 6 Fiesta ST. And some more time-consuming ones as well. The car's probably going to be laid up for a little while, you know, while I do certain jobs, and I just want something that can get me to work and back. Now, if I was to get something different instead of the Honda, I could either fix this and sell it, or I could just get rid of it and scrap it. The majority of you said to just scrap this thing off and get rid of it, but then some people also said that maybe fix it and sell it and get something else. But the general consensus was that you don't want to see this Honda as my daily car. But I'll be honest with you, I kind of already made up my mind, and I can reveal that sitting behind me is the car that I plan to use as my daily driver. Now, I know what you're thinking, what the hell have I done? No, I didn't get a little overexcited and bump this thing on the drive home. In fact, I bought this car at auction. More specifically, a salvage auction. I'm sure if you've watched plenty of YouTube, you're probably familiar with a company called Copart. So yeah, I bought a crash damaged car. But once we've sorted out this, what on the face of it looks like some quite minor damage to the front of this thing, I'm pretty sure we're onto a winner because the rest of this car looks pretty damn tidy. Okay, so it is a bit of a mess inside as well. Now, I know you can't smell anything, but you can probably tell from some of the questionable things that were found in this car that the previous owner had an interesting hobby, to say the least. It absolutely stinks of weed in here. Okay, so this thing used to be someone's hot box, but let's hope it's not now my little box. Once we get the interior tidied up and fix the very minor damage at the front, I'm sure this thing will run like a dream. Oh, for sake. Okay, so it doesn't actually start just yet, but there's a whole number of reasons why that could be. We're not going to get into that in this video, but the next video you'll see on this car will be me diving into it and finding out, you know, exactly why it doesn't start and seeing if we can get this thing running. Now, I have already washed the outside of this car in preparation for this video, but it's time to dive into the interior and see if we can get that looking a bit tidier. Then I'm going to talk you through why I actually bought this car, why I bought this particular model, and for those of you that don't know what it is, I'll explain kind of what this car actually is. There's also a couple of things I've noticed about it that don't quite add up, so we're also going to go into those and see if we can figure out possibly what actually happened to this thing. Jaffa cakes. I've also found 3 combs, even more baggies, some more uneaten snacks, some broken safety glasses, loads of rubber gloves. In fact, there's another one there. I think there's something else under here as well. Oh, right, yeah, okay. I'm wondering if I should have put those rubber gloves on to clean this car out, because God knows what else is in here. Oh, there we go. I think that's about as far as I'm going to go today, because, I mean, we haven't even got this thing running yet, so I'm not going to go too crazy, but the interior is looking a lot better. I still need to hoover out the mats and things like that, but let's talk to you about why I actually bought this car. So this is a late 2014 Ford Fiesta, making it a Mark 7.5, or the facelift version of the 7th generation Fiesta. It's a 1 litre EcoBoost, but it's not just any EcoBoost. Now, there were a couple of different versions of the EcoBoost. You could get 100 horsepower, you could get 125 horsepower, and there are also a couple of different trim options, you know, the usual lineups like the Z-Tech and the Z-Tech S, which you know from previous generations, and then I think in later models they actually rebranded it as the ST line. Now, I think technically this is a Z-Tech S, but Ford also did a couple of special edition versions. You could get the red edition and the black edition, which is what this one is. So what does that mean? That means it comes with a 140 horsepower version of the 1 litre EcoBoost engine, making it only 10 horsepower less from factory than my Mark 6 Fiesta ST, which is crazy when you think this is a 1 litre and this is 2 litre. Now, one day I'd love to put these two head to head in some sort of race or some sort of challenges or something like that, but that's not the purpose of this car right now. Believe it or not, I bought this car to be my new daily. Now, I know what you're thinking, why the hell have you gone and bought a crash damaged car to be your new daily? But there is method in my madness, I think. On paper, these things can return over 60 miles to the gallon, which is double what I'm getting in my ST. The road tax is only £20 a year. It's more than £20 a month in my ST. And the insurance, at my age, will probably be next to nothing as well. Now, don't worry, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The plan isn't to get rid of the ST. I'm definitely keeping this car. The plan is to free up some time on the ST, because at the moment, this is my daily car. It's my only car that actually works and runs and does anything. You know, my Honda's dead. I haven't got this running yet. And my mum and dad are moving, so I can't easily borrow a car from them anymore. So I just need a car that can get me to and from work, and can leave this to be off the road for as long as it needs to be to get some serious modifications done. Okay, right, but why buy a car to be your daily that doesn't run? Well, in my defense, I didn't know it didn't run, but I'm sure it'll be something simple. It's been in a crash. It could be something like an inertia switch or a fuel cut switch or something like that. I haven't dived into this yet to figure out why it doesn't run. It could be any number of things. But the reason I bought one in this kind of state is because I didn't want to spend an awful lot of money. I didn't want a really expensive daily car because I wanted to save some of the money I've got to plow into the ST. Yeah, okay, it's going to cost me a bit to repair this, but I shouldn't think it'll cost that much, and I got this a hell of a lot cheaper than what it would have cost me to buy one of these in good condition. I wanted something fairly modern. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, yeah, but you could have got something more modern and still cheaper. But the thing with me is, if I don't like a car, I'm not going to drive it anywhere. I could have bought something, you know, really boring, really mundane, something that I didn't really like, but then every time I needed to go to work, I'd have probably just taken the ST. I actually think I'll enjoy this car, so I actually want to drive it. Plus, I know these cars are popular, so I do think there'd also be some really good content to have on this car, you know, aside from just fixing the crash damage. Now, I haven't told you how much this car costs, but I'll go through an entire breakdown of that once I've repaired it and got it back on the road. But I hope you can at least start to see, you know, where my head is at with this, and hopefully you understand why I bought this thing. Now, what I can't work out, guys, is how you've not even spotted this car yet. It's actually been in the videos for over 2 months. In my thoughts on the ST150 video, you can see it through the windscreen of the ST here in the background. And you can also see it in the reflection of the door as I get in the car. Let's jump in the car and get this video started. And again here, in the second part of the brake caliper rebuild video, when I'm lowering the ST back down to the ground, you can see the back of the Mark 7 just in the shot there. And in this next clip, I give you a pretty good clue. I'm sorry there's been a lack of mod videos lately, but that's because I'm working on something in the background that I think is going to be a real boost to the channel. You can see the wheel of it from underneath my ST when I was changing out the axle bushes. And I flat out show you it in my most recent video when I showed you the freshly polished headlights. This one was also meant to be a little clue. Why do my cars always end up looking like they're crash damaged? And you can also see it hiding in the back of this photo, which I recently posted on my Instagram. I can't believe none of you spotted it, and I think that's pretty sneaky on my part, so I definitely deserve a subscribe for that. Before we end this video, there's just something I want to ask you guys to do. You saw that there was an awful lot of glass on the inside of the car, but no broken windows or anything like that. So yeah, I just want you guys to make some suggestions as to why you think the car was full of glass and, you know, maybe what happened to it. Next time, we're going to make a start and see if we can get this thing running, and then we can get working on that crash damage. But for this video, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.